Today we are going to talk about reading, all about reading and why is it important for your kids, and a little sneak peek into my child's library, a little library that we have set up and I've all got on the bed today for you. So starting with reading. Reading advances your child's vocabulary. We all know that. And it tends to build on the comprehensive skills and powers. If I really want to talk about it more, then I will just show you some Julia Donaldson books, which are our favorite here. Let me start by also picking up books. My daughter just loves all these Julia Donaldson books, and another writer that is very, very good if you talk about imagination building for your kids. And this Michael Rawson books are absolutely a delight, and these are all Walker Book Awards awarded, and you will just love reading. Another thing that builds upon with reading is comfort. So there is no harm in actually reading the books again and again with your kids. Now these Elmer series are absolutely our favorite. We almost read it every second or third day. Also, I'm sure you all have these Peppa Pig sound books, and Peppa Pig is everybody's favorite. And we have some pirate books also. So in Indian writers, if I may say, there is this publication Tulika. They have some amazing books. Looking at something more creative, these books, Alice in Wonderland and all these Mowgli, these are these sort of books, because you need to keep your child also entertained. Sometimes they do get bored of books, so you need to give them some more books like these, more creative ones for your toddlers who are just beginning the habit of reading. And then there is the Pepper series. This is also amazing, like Pepper goes to school, Pepper has a sister, and stuff like this. I was talking about these Tulika books, so they are very, very good. This is an informative book about space, so they have done something like this on global warming and things like that. Then there's always this one to go, Sudhamurthy book. If your child is growing up, there's no harm reading longer stories. You don't know, but your child's brain is very, very powerful. She will retain, or he will retain, lot from it. Let's not block our imagination and say that my child is just 5 and this story is too long. They love long stories, and then they come up with their own comprehensions of it. I'm sure this one then, these rhyming books by Dr. Seuss. This is a must-have in any child's little home library. And Roald Dahl. Of course, we love these books. Now there are also some books which tend to get unnoticed, and I happen to be at one of these book fairs, and I got these books from NBT, National Book Trust of India, and they have some amazing stories and they're dirt cheap. Now coming to pricing, nothing cheaper than chocolates. But these Caillou books, there is this Amazon Prime series on Caillou. My daughter loves it. So there's another one I can't find right now. There are also behavioral books like I Hate Everything, I Don't Like This, I Am Not Feeling Sorry. So books like these, this you can get, on emotions and behavior. And then of course we have all Eric Carle's Brown Bear and The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And then I also read this book when I was carrying my second one, and she absolutely adored to read this with me. So Baby on Board, as and when your pregnancy progresses, this is amazing to have. So they go month on month, and these are all the 9 months, and I totally recommend anybody who's having a second child, always give your first one the window of what's happening, and you'll see such an amazing emotional bond between you and your child and the one who's going to arrive. So I totally recommend this Baby on Board book. I'm sure many writers in the reading category have this book. So if you don't get this one, you can opt for any book like Mama's Expecting or Mama's Tummy. So that's a must-have. Now again, this one by Tulika, Leela's Loose Tooth. These are all age appropriate, around 5, when kids begin to understand the whole process of teething and milk teeth and permanent teeth. I'm sure books like these do wonders for them. They want to hear all the stories about tooth fairy. Yeah. And again, I mentioned about these global warming and raising very strong women. So knowing about these gender inclusions, these books, and then you have these and the particular one I honestly I try to avoid these. It just limits the proximities of life. And then of course we have the Lion King and also important vegetables and birds and all these books for basic practical learning. Now this book is amazing. You choose. I think you can find this on Amazon. So it is like a dreamlike book. So this actually helps your child imagination power and prediction power build on. So perhaps you grow up, what do you want to become, and so on. Where would you want to eat? How would you want to drive? Perhaps like that. So this was a little sneak peek in my child's little home library. One important book to always have in your children's collection is no touch book. They should always be home trained about no touch, that is what is a good touch and a bad touch. It is very, very important, and the right learning begins at home. So I think this one is it. And these are also very interesting ones. So these are the phonic ones, very interesting ones. So these are the phonic ones. I found this one in an exhibition. So pull down book, and I think one in the same series is this one, taking away. So all the subtraction, and I think I have one for addition as well. So I'm just sitting in between all the books, and again these classics from Julia Donaldson, like I already mentioned. And also if you have the baby has just arrived and you feel there should something to be read, so these touch and feel books, these do amazing. You'll see your child getting involved right from 4 to 6 months. You can give them these touch and feel books and you will see amazing books. So if you find your comfort in reading, I'm sure your children will also. Reading is a way of life, and they are made readers in mothers' laps, they say, and which is very, very true. If you haven't started, it is never late to read a book to your child. You can, while sitting at home, travel to a lot of places, build on their imagination, boost their vocabulary, comprehension, and a lot of power prediction which comes from books. And if your child is really a late speaker, this is the best thing to do. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching, and happy reading. Make the most.